Welkom terug hier by GROOTplaas. Ons gesels nou met Arjan Mulder. Hy's Managing Director van Smith Power Equipment. Welcome.
Thank you.
Before we talk about Smith Power Equipment, tell me a bit more about yourself, all the way from Netherlands, but in South Africa since 2018.
Yes. No, I started in December 2018 was my first trip to South Africa, coming from the Netherlands, and I'm always enjoying my time in South Africa, especially in the agricultural business where we are with our company. I'm close to 30 years within the agricultural business worldwide in different countries. So I'm enjoying my time in South Africa.
And then tell us more about the company. What exactly do you do for agriculture in South Africa?
Yeah, Smith Power is the sole distributor of Kubota and some other equipment brands like Tree Elite and Perfect from the Netherlands, mixer wagons and small shredders. We are in the agriculture business, and Kubota is a major supplier for us and very important for our business.
And other brands that that's also in your group?
Yes, within Smith Power we are also active in what we call the turf care business. So that's machines for golf course maintenance, the mowers, and club cars, so golf carts. Then we are in the ORV business, so with ATVs, off-road vehicles, side-by-sides. We do generator business and forklift business with Bioli. So it's a forklift business which is also a growing sector in South Africa.
I just heard generators because you're going to make money now in South Africa.
Yes. Now, the generator business is always a challenge, let's say, because that business is fluctuating a lot. Of course, depending on the load shedding. As everybody knows, that's a big issue today, and that business is going very well.
I want to talk about the challenges, but first about the positive. And recently in the newspapers it said, there's still a lot of money still in South Africa. There's a lot of overseas companies in agriculture. What is your experience? Because, it's big equipment. It's not cheap stuff. No. But behind the scenes it looks like everything's fading, but the agricultural economy is still strong.
No, it is, and especially since, unfortunately, the developments in Europe in the Ukraine war made the commodity prices increase a lot, which is of course good. I think the export for South African farmers is a very important part of the good results, let's say. So that's a positive thing. We all have our challenges, as you just said, about load shedding and the climate changes, which is sometimes drought, sometimes too much water or too less water. That's some of the challenges, but we see, and that's a worldwide thing, especially with South African farmers. We know that they're very adaptive and flexible in doing their business, growing their business. That's one thing which we see in many areas is the scale of farming increasing, which also creates a bigger need for tractors, implements. So we see it very positive.
And for farmers watching the program this morning, what kind of farmers are you looking for, your clients? In terms of what the sector of agriculture. Yes. Is it maize farmers? Is it?
Now we are from the history very strong in what we call intensive farming. So in the fruit areas, in the vineyards, with our narrow track tractors and compact tractors. But we are growing the business now very strongly also in the dairy sector, the dairy and the beef sectors, with our hay and forage implements. And tractors, of course, also suitable for that area. So let's say the big scale farming, it's a little bit further away from our business because we don't have the big tractor range. We go now until 130 kilowatt. But the areas which I just mentioned are very important for us.
And then you operate in 17 countries?
Yeah. Worldwide. Yes, worldwide. We are in 17 countries. So Royal Racing has a head office in the Netherlands. So we are one of the oldest trading companies in the world. We are close to 230 years old. Again, based in the Netherlands, there where we started. So we have a big basis in Western Europe. Then outside Europe, we first started our business in Turkey, where I also was based for more than 2 years. Spent my time over there also in the agriculture business. Then we added Kazakhstan. And South Africa and Canada almost at the same time. And as we said before, since 2018 I'm based in South Africa, so I call myself a part-time South African.
Yeah, definitely.
But again, always very happy to be here.
Yeah, you were here in lockdown, so you definitely...
Yes. It was a challenging time.
That was a challenging time. Let's gossip about farmers. You've seen farmers, like you said, in Turkey, Eastern Europe, Canada. The genetics of a farmer, are they all the same all over the world? They've got a love for the land, they want to produce something, I was just curious.
No, basically, you know, there's a lot in common between farmers worldwide. And in the end, you know, if you want to grow something, you need soil, you need water, you need fertilizer and the stuff you grow. Of course, you know, there's some different in culture and habits, but as I always say, and also when I'm back in the Netherlands speaking about Africa, because there is sometimes a bit of non-understanding about where South Africa is today, but yeah, there's a lot of things in common within farming worldwide.
And then the importance of festivals, expos. We recently, in South Africa, Nampo is the biggest. It's massive. How important is it for a brand like your brand to be there, to be visually there? People must see it. And do you do business on festivals?
Yeah, no, it's very important. You know, first of all, is to show the company and to show the brands which we represent, building bridges, especially with new customers. You know, we have of course, our existing Kubota clients, which we know, and we're of course very happy to invite them here at Nampo. But especially with new customers, to get them to know the brand and to know the company, it's a very important event.
And everyone will always ask after sales service.
Yes.
Are your standards there?
No, we all know, you know, it's very important, and it's easy to say, you know, we are good, but I always say, you know, we have to prove to the customer what we do. Everybody speaking about added value, but I always say to my team, only speak about added value if you can tell them what does that mean for that farmer.
Your biggest brand, just again?
Kubota.
Kubota. So, yeah, for me it sounds like a robot, but if you're a farmer, they'll definitely know what we're talking about. Let's talk about finance options.
Yes. Financing, of course, is important. You know, for farmers also their cash flow is important, and they need to have finance options, not only to do a purchase, but also to keep their cash flow in the right position. We have several agreements with different banks in South Africa who arrange retail finance options with our clients, but also for our dealers we have floor plan options. So again, yeah, financing is a very important item in South Africa.
And then the balance between your big farmers, and especially in South Africa, but I can also think it's the same in certain Eastern Europe countries, maybe not in Canada as a first world country. How important is it to support upcoming farmers, to get that balance? Because it's not every guy that can buy big stuff of 7 million or 1 million. You know?
Yeah, you know, for us and for me as a company, you know, every client is important, if it's big or small. So that's first of all. And of course, the upcoming farmers, you know, there's good potential in there. And we are not only focused on the big farms. Every farmer is important, and every farmer where we can do, we will do business with, support them. And that's also coming back on that added value. That's important for every farmer to show them really, realistically, what do we offer them.
And then if we can speak about the smaller equipment, like you mentioned, golf courses, that's something totally different from farming. Yes. What other areas are you guys also involved in?
Now, as we said, the golf courses, but also in the community itself. So for maintenance from the roads and those kind of things. Then, as I said, you know, in the forklift industry, so in warehousing, but also on the farm. And I think that's a strong combination to have, because we can also sell a forklift to a farmer, of course. But also in warehousing, the generators, it's a widespread business where you can do in a lot of places. Our off-road vehicle business with the quad bikes and side-by-sides, we sell to farms, we sell them to security companies, all kind of areas we are active.
And let's talk about the negative a bit. Compared to other countries, you are based in 17 countries. We're sitting with a massive load shedding problem. It's you know, a lot of people think we're going to have a total collapse sometime or whatever. Have you seen any such like an electricity crisis anywhere in the world?
No. To be honest,
is it unique?
This is the only experience I have with load shedding. Unfortunately in South Africa. We know it's a huge challenge for everybody. As we see, you know, where we sell the generators, you know, people have to not only spend money on the generator itself, but then again on the fuel which is needed. It's something which is there. I can't say nothing about the future of load shedding, but it's a very important item, I know.
Is it something your company will look at? Because I spoke a couple of months ago to school children, and I said to them, to try to motivate them and say, South Africa is a country, the moment there's a crisis, we create opportunities. Yeah. Like if you started a solar company in the last 2 years, you're making money. We're very creative. The company Are you also looking for new sectors? This crisis can lead to a new sector. You can go generators, but maybe you think, let's get farms totally on solar. Is it a creative company?
Yes, no, we are. In Europe, all the countries are very focused on reducing your carbon footprint. In South Africa, again, with the load shedding, there's some other challenges and reasons to go into renewable energy, but it's for sure something we look at. Also on short term, bringing in solar panels or electrical storage solutions with batteries. So yes, that's a very important development area. And
then you said something earlier, and I was very curious if someone missed it in the first segment we were chatting, like 230 years old. And it's probably a family business. I don't know if it still is, but it's always in Europe. You get even the people that make pencils. They've been coming for 400 years. Just tell us a bit of the history, because a company of 230 years old, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's grounded in 1786. No. It's hard to imagine. There was the family racing, and they started as a lot of company as a blacksmith. Whatever blacksmiths do at that time. Yeah. And then slowly all the blacksmiths, they're starting to sell whatever is needed to the families and farmers, of course. So that's how the company developed. Also worldwide, we are active in the areas which I just mentioned, so agriculture, forklift industry. What I didn't mention is construction equipment. We are also there strong worldwide. Our goal is always to grow our business with existing OEMs where we work with. So if there is a country where the OEM wants to expand or move to a new company, then we are always happy to be invited with that. But yeah, it has a long history. Was family company. We went to the stock market already in 1990, a long time ago. And then 6 years ago, we exited the stock market. So we're part of a private equity. So we're part of a second private equity called Triton. It's a German, Scandinavian private equity company, and yeah, that's where we belong to today.
Will you ever farm yourself?
Actually, I have a small farm myself.
Yes, where is this farm?
It's in the Netherlands.
Oh. So is it flowers?
No, with sheep and cows. But no, I grew up on a farm. It's in my genes, as I always say. I think I can say very familiar with farming, and it's also important, to speak their language, not only Afrikaans, but speak the language of the farmers.
Oh, definitely. Just quickly, where can people find you and get more info?
Yes, go to www.smithpower.co.za. You will find all the information on our company and the products we represent in the South African market.
So, daar het jy nou al informasie gekry. Die volgende keer as ek met hom gesels, sal dit in Nederlands wees. Ek gaan net baie stadig praat, want ons gaan mekaar kan verstaan.
Ja. Ek verstaan. Baie dankie.
Baie dankie. So, ja, jy kan, dis die einde van hierdie program. So ek gaan nou gou kyk of ek my golfbaan wat ek gekoop het kan sny met hierdie produk.